It is time to monetize your big idea. Join us on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Become a leader in your category. Change the rules of the game. Change your struggles into confidence, your abilities into possibilities, your challenges into opportunities. Change the things you don't like. All you need is within you. It is time to monetize your big idea. Connect with your ideal clients, attract media attention, share your passion, speak on stage, walk the red carpet on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Be the masterpiece. Get your ticket today at www.SpeakonRadio.com. Be seen, be heard, be present.
And we are back. We are talking today about being forever young. And I have the unique pleasure, the exceptional privilege of introducing you, a lady who inspired my life and who could inspire you to stay forever young and be more. Please introduce yourself, please. Hello.
Hello. It's nice to be with you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We've been waiting for you and we are so excited to hear from you.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't realize I was that exciting.
Yes, you are, because you are forever young and would like to learn from you. What is your secret? What is your story that keeps you so amazingly young?
Well, I think listening to Beatles music has something to do with it.
Definitely. They changed my life, and I'm sure that millions of people out there.
You can't grow old. Yes. If you listen to Beatles music, you can't grow old. That's one thing.
So you've been the ambassador of their music, and their music changed so many millions of lives around the world, and they still do. Their legacy is beyond age, is beyond generations, and to have you tell us that this is your secret, it's so empowering. So tell us your story.
Well, I've been working with I've had my own band now for about 10 years, and it's called Liverpool Legends. And one of the things that we are doing now, we're working very hard on putting together an organization which is called Help Keep Music Alive. And what happens is my band and I get in touch with the music directors from high schools and colleges and offer to do a live concert at their schools. And we send the music that we play on our show, all the Beatles music, to them. And they spend 2 or 3 months learning how to play the music, with their music students. And then we come along and do a live concert, with usually as many as 250 students playing on stage with us, playing all the Beatles music. And whatever money we raise goes to help the music department. So that's a program. We have been working on it now for a couple of years, but we're hoping to enlarge it in the coming few months. But it's called Help Keep Music Alive, and we will have a website where people can go and see what we're doing and also donate support money to it as well.
What a brilliant cause. So, please tell us, we know that back in the 60s, in 1963, when nobody heard of the Beatles at the time, they were totally unknown in the United States, you were the true promoter, you were the heart of their existence, and you were connecting the dots between where they were and where they eventually got. Yes, and needed to belong to. Yes.
That's right. I had just moved into this country in March of '63, and one of the things that my father had always insisted on, sort of a way to live was, if you believe in something, you don't ever give up. You follow that belief with great determination, and you never give up. And so, following that idea, when my mom started sending me the singles of the Beatles, and she also told me, my mom was the kind of person that if her son had been in a band and they were just having fun, and they weren't very good, but they were just having fun. She would have said that, you know. But when she talked to me about them, she said, they are absolutely fantastic. And for my mum to say that, she was not one to praise her own kids if they didn't deserve it, you know. So I knew that there was something really wonderful going on. And so when I started getting their records, I started going to all of the radio stations within about a couple of 100 miles of where I lived and saying to them, hey, you know, this is my Kid Brothers band in England, and they're number one in England, and, you know, maybe you should be playing them here. Well, I didn't meet with very much didn't meet with much enthusiasm. In fact, back in those days, women were supposed to stay in the kitchen, you know, wash the dishes and mind your own business. But I started also doing research when I realized it's not easy just to walk in with a record. I started doing research about how the music business operates in the United States. And I found out, of course, this is back in the 60s, I found out that unless you had the backing of a major record company, you know, somebody who could throw a lot of either money behind you or influence, that you weren't going to get anywhere. So I was studying all of the papers at that time, you know, the Cashbox and Billboard and Variety magazines, and learning all about the American music business. Because in Britain, if you have your record played on the BBC, that's all you need, you know, that's all there is the BBC. And so in this country, back then, there were about 6,000 different radio stations. There's a lot more than that now. But in order to get national play, you really needed to have, you know, a major entity behind you. So all of this information I gathered, and I wrote in letters to Brian Epstein, their manager, George Martin, who was producing the records, and also Dick James, who was their music publisher. And I was sending 16-page handwritten letters every week to them, telling them what they needed to do in order to break into the American music scene. And so, you know, eventually, of course, that did happen.
Wow, so basically, you launched this campaign, this I think you call it the Daily Beta Report nationwide, and that was that was your persistence, your belief in your brother, you as a big sister, because everybody thinks of the big brother, but you just turned around the whole concept of being the big brother into being the big sister. And I love to believe that you are my big sister. So you start writing letters after letters, you pick up the phone, you petition to the newspaper, to the radio, to the TV station, to everyone out there who wanted or refused to listen, and you made them listen. What an amazing journey, Luis. I'm so impressed and so inspired by your life, because you never stop. Even now, you are talking to the global family of Beatle people, and you are organizing events. You are soon to go to Chicago, and fans are going to come from all over the world. And you've been giving countless interviews worldwide, and for the past decade you manage Liverpool legends. Oh my God, this is being forever young. You just inspire so many.
Well,
yes.
Not only that, but I've never been known to take no for an answer. In fact, I had an incident yesterday. I'm in the Midwest at the moment in Missouri, and in the last 6 months I've been living in California, so my checkbook is a California checkbook. And I went to the store that I have been going to for 10 years in this town before I went to California, and I wrote a check, and they wouldn't accept it because it was in California. Anyway, I was not about to take no for an answer, and finally they apologized to me and said, "Oh yes, we realize now who you are, and we know that you've been a customer for years, and we will take you a California check." It was only for $30, you know. But still,
It's the principal
yeah,
things.
but I was not about to take no. Now the other thing that I've been working on for over 20 years now is a movie scenario. I have a movie a treatment registered with the Movie Screenwriters Guild in California, and I've been working on that for a long time. And right now, I have the department at an arts institute in Santa Ana. They're going to be taking the whole, all of the information that I have on the movie and working it up to, to get the screenplay out of it. And hopefully we'll get somebody like Steven Spielberg to make the movie. It's basically, the theme of the movie is environmental, but it's also based on the old story about Scrooge. You know, the book A Christmas Carol about Scrooge.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So that's the characters are based on that, but it is actually an environmental story, and it's about the Scrooge character in my movie is going to be the head, the ruler of the whole world, and we have some visitations, like the three ghosts in the Scrooge story. We have these characters come and help him change his mind and become an environmental person instead. So I've been working on that now for over 20 years, and I have many, very, very well-known people throughout the business who've been on my advisory committee. So I'm hoping that now that I have the people from Santa Ana Arts Institute working on this, that maybe we can actually get it produced one of these days.
Wow, this is actually amazing. Apart from the fact that your belief kept you forever young, and this is how you cannot age, it's simple as that. You decided that you don't take no from an answer from people, from anyone or anything out there that could slow you down, and that's just remarkable. So apart from your belief, what else can affect your lifestyle? What can you recommend to our listeners, which are over 50,000 people all over the world, coming from different paths of life, but mainly they're entrepreneur, and their entrepreneurial life sometimes feels like a burden. They don't have time to make choices. They are under so many crashing demands. What would you advise them to be?
Well, some of the advice that I got from my father and my mother, but mostly from my father, he believed very, very strongly that as we go through life on this planet, it is very, very important that we act with integrity, and that the things that we do, that we enter into our different activities with a sense of purpose, and also with a sense of doing something good, something helpful to the rest of humanity. And, not to be motivated by greed or fame or all of those things, because those things are very, very hollow. I know, when my brother became rich, that it was such a burden to him, because one of the things he said to me was, sometimes, usually when people become rich, they're considered to be tycoons. He said, but in our case, we're just considered to be targets. And, everybody was after trying to get a handful of their money from them. And so, being rich is not necessarily a good thing. At least that's what my brother found. And so I would recommend to people, if you have a product or a project or an ambition or whatever it might be, to follow it with a great deal of integrity, and also not with the idea of becoming big and fast and, and what's the word, a big shot, but to do it with the idea that you're doing some good for other people. And my father always said, so long as you never do anything to harm or, to hurt or harm or upset other people, then, you're being okay. So, rather than going around being mean and nasty to everybody and trying to, make a big lot of money for yourself, to try to do whatever you're doing with, with purity of purpose. I think that was the word he used, was to have purity of purpose. And so that's basically how I've lived my life. And, okay, I'm not rich, but I have loads and loads of really good friends. And to me, that is far more valuable, to be to have the